Hi, welcome to In Between Thoughts. Today I wanted to do something a little different and talk about my first real relationship and what it taught me. Because I think first loves are strange. For a lot of us, they're the first time we truly let someone into our lives, the first time we become vulnerable, the first time we trust someone that deeply, the first time we picture a future with someone. And because of that, I think first relationships teach us some of the biggest lessons we'll ever learn. Looking back, my first relationship taught me a lot about love, but it also taught me a lot about myself. Like many first relationships, we made mistakes. We both had things we were trying to figure out. We both had things we needed to work on. And over the years, I spent a lot of time trying to understand why things ultimately did not work. Of course, trust became a major issue. Being cheated on and having that trust broken multiple times changes a relationship. It changes the way you feel, it changes the way you think, and it changes the way you connect with someone. Trust is one of those things that is easy to underestimate until it's gone. Because once trust starts breaking, everything becomes harder. Communication becomes harder, security becomes harder, connection becomes harder. But as I got older and reflected more, I realized that trust was not the only thing we struggled with. We were also very different people. We loved differently, we communicated differently, we needed different things. One thing I learned was how important love languages actually are. His way of showing love was often through physical touch and spending time together. Mine was through words of affirmation, quality time, and gift giving. And I think one mistake a lot of people make is giving love the way they want to receive it instead of learning how the other person feels loved. I know I did that, and I think he did too. We were both trying to love each other, but sometimes we were speaking different emotional languages. And that does not mean either person was wrong. It just means understanding each other takes effort. Another thing I learned was how attachment styles can affect relationships. I had a more anxious attachment style. He had a more fearful, avoidant attachment style. And honestly, that combination can be incredibly difficult. One person wants reassurance, the other person pulls away when things become overwhelming. One person wants closeness, the other person needs distance. And if neither person understands what's happening, it can create a lot of confusion and hurt. Looking back, I also realized we had very different personalities. In a lot of ways, we were complete opposites. But even with all of those differences, I do not regret the relationship because despite everything, we genuinely cared about each other. We both tried to help each other. I helped him emotionally. He helped me in other areas of life. We both encouraged each other to grow. We both learned things from each other. And I think that's something people forget when relationships end. Just because something did not last forever does not mean it was a failure. Sometimes relationships are lessons, sometimes they help us understand ourselves better, sometimes they show us what we need, sometimes they show us what we deserve, and sometimes they help us become better people. One of the biggest lessons I learned was the importance of putting yourself first. Going to therapy, understanding yourself, working on your own healing, learning your patterns, learning why you react the way you do, because no relationship can fix the things we refuse to face within ourselves. And honestly, even though we are no longer together, I am grateful. I am grateful I got to experience loving someone that deeply. I am grateful I got to care about someone. I am grateful I got to be vulnerable. I am grateful for the memories we made, the conversations we had, the lessons we learned, and even the mistakes. Because first relationships are messy. You are learning in real time, you are figuring things out, you are making mistakes while trying your best, and sometimes they work out, sometimes they do not, but either way you learn. And I think that's the beautiful part. Because while heartbreak hurts, there's something special about being able to say that for a period of your life, you truly loved someone and allowed yourself to be loved too. And maybe that's the lesson I carry with me the most. Not every relationship is meant to last forever, but that does not mean it was meaningless. Sometimes the greatest value of a relationship is not where it ends, it's what it teaches you along the way. If you've learned something from a past relationship, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. If you enjoyed this conversation, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.